Back when I was younger, I always grew up around bluegrass music because of my dad. So he was always playing in church, or before church, he had played in a full-time bluegrass band. And I grew up with so many instruments surrounded by me that it was like, it was part of life. There was music everywhere. He's from Kentucky, and that's how that stuff is. It's always sitting on the front porch playing music. So it all started from there, and then from there on, I was just filled with bluegrass when I was younger. It was awesome. I tried college basketball for a summer, or a year, I should say, and the basketball part was fun, but the college wasn't, so I realized that wasn't for me. And then I just started playing a lot more music and realized that, you know, you make a few bucks at a bar in a night, hey, that's not too bad. I'll start playing a lot more of this. This sounds like fun. 12, 13, or 14, and I was starting to play the banjo and Foggy Mountain Breakdown and stuff like that, Cripple Creek. All that old stuff, really. I had to learn how to make a banjo sound like that. And once I got like a regiment of understanding how the music goes together, then it was awesome. I couldn't stop. You had to learn everything after that. Actually, people who were a lot older than me at the time, because I was adopted and my dad's, he's almost 70 now. So I was surrounded by old dudes who played great old traditional bluegrass. And then after a while, I mean, that moved on to me playing music with my buddies in high school, and we'd sit around fires and we'd all sing the same old songs, and over time it just grows something that you do. Everybody grabs a drink and sits around the fire, next thing you know, guitar's out and everybody's singing. So they're all good memories if you ask me.
I'm gonna remember this. Do you like that song on the radio? Baby, I do too. Aren't you glad we left that bar? I brought my guitar and I could play it for you. Yeah, I hope you don't mind this old truck and this big bench seat. So slide on over here, baby, a little closer to me. I'm gonna remember this.
I know I say a lot about bluegrass because that's what I grew up playing, but then after that, Dad always had cassettes of, you know, Merle Haggard and George Jones and Waylon Jennings and all the tear-jerking songs, you know, the good stuff, and you're like, that's awesome. And then when I was little, it would have been like 94, I was growing up on George Strait and Alan Jackson, and all that good stuff was on the radio, Brooks and Dunn, and that was good music. So I loved listening to that.
Baby, I've got plans for me and you.
You know, country, some of the new country I listen to, but not a lot of it. But rock, listen to a lot of rock. We listen to alternative music, John Mayer, anything. Yeah, it would be a guesstimate what was going to play next on my playlist, because nobody would have a clue, including myself.
I'll show you on a summer night fun, sitting on the back porch, listen to the crickets in the moonlight, honey, all night.
And 90 Proof Twang it happened kind of quick, actually, because I was playing like little acoustic nights with a guy named Brad Otto, and he got me involved in the bar scene and was like, hey, you should come play music out. And I was like, all right, I'll try that. Then we did that for a while and got a good little following, and then Dave Cornett gave me a call, and he was playing music, and he said, hey man, I'm looking to put something together. Would you want to start a band with me? And I was like, whoa, Dave Cornett's calling me, and Dave is an amazing guitarist, and he's a great dude to learn from. And when he called me, I was like, absolutely. And then from then on, things just fell together, and we had 90 Proof Twang.
Baby, I got this. It's your turn to take your time and unwinding. Better rest assured your pretty little heart's gonna like it. So if you don't mind dance, baby, I got this.
Because I feel like there's so many different genres of music that are blended in with it, to whether it's a lot of the music that I grew up listening to, you know, it has that funky style, but it also has a southern rock to it, good old style country, but then you throw in a little the new stuff, but I don't know, you don't venture out too far, and you just find a mix of what makes me feel good. And it's worked out that people are enjoying it too. So what you're hearing is my weird head and how it all worked out. Well, we just finished playing at Bogart's, which was kind of a stamp for me. I'd never played there, but I'd watched people like Corey Smith and Blackberry Smoke, and I saw Ted Nugent there when I was 17. And so being on that stage is always awesome. We really like playing at Indian Creek Tavern and Borderline, and there's some local bars that we play at that our people come out and they get pretty rowdy. It's awesome. We do a show at River's Edge, like in downtown Hamilton. That place gets packed and awesome as well. So with around here, I feel like there's a lot of really good places there's great live music in the Hamilton, Cincinnati area, and you just got to go out and find it, but there's places for it.
Got it all, a little love. It's just a tough man's love song. A tough man's love song.
When you start with the writing process, you never know what's going to come out of it. You come in with ideas, and they're all just in your head. You start from blank, and that's awesome. So you sit down, you come up with ideas, you come up with a song, you come up with the guitar parts and what you want to say. And then once that song's done and you decide it's good enough to go record, that's a whole other story in itself. Because we recorded in Nashville at County Q, and they're Studio 1A musicians, like they're first call musicians. So something that would take me a year to do takes these guys literally like a half an hour because they're perfect. So when you watch them record these songs, it's more mind-blowing than anything. You're just like, how did you do that? Show me, but it's impossible. Like, it's so good. And then, I mean, when it all comes together at a live show, that's like the explosion of the volcano, you know? You started from nothing, now you're introducing it to all your friends, and they're out there going crazy and having drinks and being wild, and you're doing the same. So there's a blast to each part of it, and they're all so different. I don't know which one I could say I like the best.
Thank you, guys. And now there's your sweet love that's set me free. But I ain't got no worries now, just blue skies all around. It's like I'm laying on a cloud.
We just released Poor Boy's Paradise this past weekend, actually it would have been, but Six Pack has been out for almost a year now, it seems like. And it's just been a great compilation of songs that I've written with numerous people. Del Grey and Porterhouse, Little Texas. Dave Cornett's on a few of those songwrites. There's a group named Walker McGuire. I wrote a bench seat with Jordan from them.
But I know she'll never cross those tracks. I keep rolling on, chasing her tail lights in the fall, hoping me in this truck find some luck and bring my girl back home. Well, I keep rolling on.
It's surreal because, like, with Little Texas, you go into Del, he's so nice enough to let us come to his house and just sit in his studio, but you look up and there's platinum and gold records all along the wall, and you're like, how am I sitting in here right now hanging out with you guys telling funny stories? In reality, you've sold millions of records, and so, I mean, it's humbling, and it's you feel accomplished, so.
Hey, that's my baby, just to watch her move. Out on the floor, she'll take them all to school. My buddies all love her, think she's so damn cool. She gets as drunk as I do. She gets as drunk as I do.
It's just music that expresses me, and I've been able to write on it, so I don't know, that's my music, and it's awesome to see something that you vision in your head actually go to paper and on a CD or something. So it's humbling. It's really cool to watch it all come together. Your fans are your friends. We know so many people who are out there in the crowd and come to all of our shows and listen to our music, and when they actually like it, they're not just coming because they like you, they like the music too, and they're singing along. It's probably one of the most rewarding feelings, being a singer-songwriter, that you could ever have, is when people feel what you wrote.
The sun is coming up, birds chirping in the trees. Early Sunday morning, quiet as can be, but it's 4:20 somewhere. Girl, won't you go there with me? So throw off the covers.
I remember wanting to play at Indian Creek, and now that's like one of my favorite places. I'm there all the time playing I play acoustic there this evening, and I love going to that barn. It's become one of my home places. But it's like, I remember before any of this started, like, I want to play there. Like, I passed this bar, I'd never been in there, but I want to play at this joint. And then you get to a place like doing the River's Edge shows in Bogarts, where it's not in a bar, and it's more of it's a concert now. It's not just get rowdy at a bar and everybody's crazy. It's a regiment and it's a concert, and I don't know, when those happen, that's when you feel like a rock star. It's awesome. So the emotions are overwhelming. Before the show, your anxiety is like insane. On stage, you forget about everything. Then after the show, it's like, oh man, here we go. So it's never-ending ride of emotions for sure. And that's what's crazy about it though. If we're off and it's a weekend, or we play so much music you'd think we wouldn't, but the first thing we do, all right, we got to go find a band tonight. Who's playing? And that's we go watch a show. So we just stay surrounded by it. It's more of a lifestyle. That's what you come to find. There's such a difference between playing music for a hobby and actually living it. And when you live it, it's overwhelming. It takes over your entire life. And you love it. You love it and you hate it at the same time, but you usually love it a little more than you hate it.
Sometimes the end is just the beginning.